saying is that, you know, you were saying when you were young, you could run and run and run and it didn't affect you. Well, you know, what happens is when we're young, we're kind of like fresh wood, you know, we're springy.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
you know, we're hard on our bodies and they recover. So what happens is the kind of misalignments and the compensations of bad use in our body, we can overlook those things. You know that? Did you ever have that experience, like, you know, you're a young kid, and I don't know about you guys, but we did walkathons when we were little kids. You know, we raised money for, I don't even know what it was, but, you know, you would sign up and walk for 20 miles. And I remember I always had ankle pain after I walked for 20 miles. But you know what?
20 miles?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure. Did you walk?
But wait,
Never,
but I should
never,
have
maybe 3,
had
4
that
miles.
ankle pain because it was only in one ankle.
Okay.
So why did I have pain in one ankle? You know, it wasn't, I couldn't say it was the concrete or my shoes or anything because it was only on one side.
Okay.
And the thing is, you know, you're young and 2 or 3 days later, there's no ankle pain. Maybe the next day there's no ankle pain. But the older you become, the more those imbalances in the body stay with us. And so what you have to do is you have to start applying yourself to really understanding where the imbalances come from, and then taking the time, and this is where the patience comes into this, taking the time to repattern your movement. And that's really what I work with, not just in my walking clinics, but through my whole business, which is Original Body Wisdom. People can look it up online, originalbodywisdom.com. And I use yoga therapy and movement repatterning to help people get back into a functional balance in their bodies. Because most pain that we have and most limitation that we have isn't because we're old. It's because we have bad habits or injuries that we've never fully recovered from.
Well, that's good news.
So, yeah,
we're
so
not
maybe
that
there's
old.
still some hope for...
There's a lot of hope.
Oh, good.
I just worked with a woman who she's gotten to go on her dream vacation of going to Venice for a month.
Nice.
And she had a lot of pain walking in her ankle, her hip, and her knee. And it's almost completely gone after working together for about 3 months. And when she does still get a little bit of knee pain, she has strategies to work it out because it really is all about bad habits.
So there's actually correct ways to walk that's going to help your body. And now I might walk different from Battelle and have different ways.
Well, everyone has their own signature. It's like there's sort of a general human correctness to walking, right? So, and you can see some of it. It's like you walk evenly between the right and left, for instance. You put equal weight on the right and left foot when you walk. Well, guess what? A lot of us don't do that because, you know, say you had surgery and you've never fully recovered from surgery, so you don't put that weight on the right side. Maybe it doesn't even hurt anymore. Maybe it's just a habit. But
so, okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So how do you come in and help us to fix that imbalance through yoga movements?
Less about yoga. The therapeutic yoga is more about where you're really tight and you need certain very specific stretching. What I work more with is, and it's a little difficult here because the first thing I do when people come to a walking clinic, and I'm actually offering a walking clinic on June 16th in Hadley, Massachusetts. But the first thing when people come to a walking clinic is I watch them walk. And I just observe them. And they observe themselves. I ask them a series of questions like, where does your heel land on the floor? What part of your foot pushes off? Do you feel weight even from the right side to left side? Does your lower back hurt right now? Does your hip hurt right now? A lot of people have hip pain, lower back pain when they walk and when they run. And then they go on the floor, and that's where we really start the repatterning. I'll show you some simple things standing up here, but I know you're not really prepared to be on the floor here, although, you know, I'm flexible if you want to do it.
we could get on the floor some way somehow.
Okay, well, what we do is we start taking apart movements. And different people have different glitches in their movements, but we take apart general movements and repattern them. Learn how to bring what I call integrity and ease. So this is the ideal of how the body moves, is that there's a certain amount of structural integrity that all human beings share, that we should aspire to. And then there's the ease. Where do you find the pathway of it just being a pleasant experience to do a particular movement in your body?